All right, guys, here we go. So, next kind of worksheet you're going to pick up at the beginning is about the amoeba sisters, kind of like a practice worksheet to kind of get through succession, kind of practice what we just talked about with the lecture. All right. So, part one, you need to jump online as well. This is going to be posted on Google Classroom. This video here, ecological succession, this is going to help you with your Venn diagram. All right. Quick review of Venn diagram. Okay. All the stuff in primary succession. Think about the things you would write down that is only true about primary succession. Okay. That goes in this little space over here. On the right hand side, write down the things that's only true of secondary succession. And then what's true about both of them, put them in the middle. All right. So watch the video online. That will walk you through this part here with the Venn diagram. Okay. It's also going to be kind of a different version of basically what I talked about as well, which will help. Okay. Practice two or practice question succession. Basically, you need to kind of walk through what we discussed. All right. So look at the image below, what you already, or below using what you already know about succession, which type is represented by the red line. You can see the red line at the bottom starts basically at nothing. You can see y-axis is species diversity. All right. So like how many different types of species are there? So the red line, you start with zero and they're slowly but surely climbing. Whereas the blue line, you start with a pretty high biodiversity and it goes, something happens, some sort of disturbance, and then it goes back up. So which one's primary? Which one's secondary? And then give me here that justification or why. Tell me why you think this one's primary or this one's secondary, whichever one you decide. All right. Typical pioneer species. Pioneers are like the first guys to get there. And we're talking about primary succession. If you forget about that, jump back to my Ed Puzzle video in the lecture. I talk specifically about which is the first thing to get there to start the whole process. All right, which of the following species make up the majority of a climax community? Climax community is basically kind of like as primary, secondary succession go. Climax community is like when it becomes really stable. Think about like the redwood forest, redwood forest with the redwood forest, the redwood trees, redwood. I'm all screwed up. Whatever it is in California that have been there for a long time. That's a climax community. Very little change, really stable. That's what we're talking about there. Okay, then give me some justification. Why did you choose A, B, C, or D? That kind of thing. All right. Next one. Which graph most likely shows an ecosystem that underwent a primary succession event? And a primary succession event is basically something occurred that made the whole process restart. That's what we're talking about. Remember, primary succession is when there's nothing there ever. So there was something there. Big succession event means you start basically back at zero. You start at nothing. All right. Again, primary starting with zero. Secondary, you're starting with soil. All right. Again, make your choice A, B, C, or D. Then give me a justification. All right. The graph below shows the number of species in an area over a period of 100 years. Where species were started at 300. I'm really tired. That's why I'm not there. No, started at 300. Then you dropped way down. Something occurred to make that number of species drop big time. Okay. I don't know what, but something happened. Okay. The graph shows an ecosystem that just had a succession event. Was the event primary or secondary? Did you go back to zero or did you not? And that's basically what you need to answer right there. All right. Good luck.